What's up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, for being subscribed. If you're not, go ahead and hit that button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit that like button. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this reality chat. All right. So on the most recent episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, there was a scene with Leticia and Kimmy. I don't know why I was about to call her something else. But anyway, it was to me a bit, it's hard for me to feel sorry for her. I tried to watch it with a little bit of compassion. And to be honest with you, I did have some compassion if I were just thinking from the perspective of being a woman and that's it. But one of the reasons why Leticia, for me, makes it hard to have really empathy for her or to feel sorry for her in any way, shape, or form. To me, it's one simple thing, and it does not ever escape my mind. And this was from seasons ago. This was back when Melody was going through the situation with her now ex-husband, making the decision to no longer be with him. And when her mom used to be on the show, there was that scene where her mom was speaking to Melody. Hotel, of course, he needs to walk up on the conversation to butt in and try to make it about him and whatever. But anyway, when Melody was like, I just don't even want to be involved in this foolishness, and she was walking away to the car, Leticia said something to her mom that for me was like, wow, are you kidding me right now? Because when Wanda was, even if she was being messy or was not being genuine with her, meaning Wanda being genuine with Melody about her concern and even saying, you know, you deserve better, you can find a good man, blah, 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 blah. The fact that Leticia said to her mom, leave her alone, Mom. Don't get involved in this because Melody is not innocent. And I'll never forget that. Like, that is one of the moments that stuck out to me, still stands out to me, and stands out to me to this very day. So her having a conversation about stepping back from duties of being a business owner and maybe going back to being a stay-at-home mom, I'm not even going to lie to you. I was like, girl, please. And I honestly was like, you've always been a stay-at-home mom. And the reason I say that is I feel that her name and her likeness, I'm going to use Arion's words. Her name, her image, and her likeness was just used for the sake of this business that her husband had the opportunity to gain because of Melody and by proxy, her now ex-husband, Hotel, Scott, because that wasn't even their wheelhouse. It wasn't even something that they were really doing. Like, wasn't he like a manager at a movie theater? I'm not saying that you can't do multiple things or have multiple interests, or you're deciding to leave one field of work to go into entrepreneurship. A lot of us have done that. I've done that. I've been an entrepreneur since 2006. And so I completely understand leaving the field of being an employee to becoming an entrepreneur. But the things that she and her husband have portrayed on the show, to me, has just been pretty much a joke. And I said it a while ago, and honestly, Melody confirmed what I said and thought on a few episodes back when she was having a conversation with Nell. And she said, well, there are certain contracts, specifically government contracts, that you can get to be a minority business owner. So to be a double minority, meaning she is a woman and African American, it gives you better options than you would get if you were just a black man. So I thought that back years ago, and Melody confirmed my thoughts. Melody didn't come out and say that's exactly what they're doing, so they can't come out and accuse her of lying, or you know how these people can do things like that. So I get her saying that. I'm thinking that might be one of the reasons why they have her as the main higher percentage business owner of the company. But I absolutely believe that, okay? So now, with the news about all of these different lawsuits that they have against them, and they may have decided to sue someone, and then the company countersued them for even more than what they were suing for, and just a lot of things that we have been seeing that has not been happening, and it just doesn't give us the appearance of a successful company and, you know, the operations that they're running. To see her sitting there and having a conversation about stepping back, quote unquote, to me, it doesn't sound like she was ever in the forefront anyway. It was just by name and on papers. So let's just go ahead and get into this clip.
If you think you're pregnant, can you still do this?
No, not if you're early in your pregnancy. It's not a good idea, okay?
I just been sick lately, so I got to make sure that I'm all good.
Well, make sure.
Okay. After the family trip to Destin, Florida, I went to Vegas for a little me time with my homegirls. I've been gaining weight. I'm not feeling good. Usually that means that there's something baking in the oven.
Y'all look so cute with
Thank you.
Okay, here we go. Y'all ready?
Is that a... Tisha, I'm serious. I've been sick.
You realize Marso got a vasectomy?
Well, maybe it didn't take.
Let me see that. You a lie. I didn't even know why you would take the test. I had to be sure.
But it did come back not pregnant.
I can't even believe you would take the test.
I threw up today. I threw up in Vegas. I was like, what's going on? And I've been gaining weight. I can't explain it.
You gaining weight because you eating.
Well,
I can't even believe a pregnancy test is what you thought. I would be like, I ate some bad chicken. Well, I'm glad it's negative because I was about to put you out. I had a whole different problem. The whole building is relieved that it's negative. God forbid that test would have came back other than negative. Man, please. We'd have shoved that stick down her throat. So I have you guys some nice relaxing herbs. So you're going to have some chamomile, some lavender, rosebuds. You're going to detox your wound. And
does it increase your libido at all?
Absolutely.
The herb you put in here?
You're going to be extra gushy. Okay. So it helps to detox your wounds. So after you've had a baby or maybe a miscarriage, or if you're trying to have a baby, it prepares your body for those things. If you're not pregnant, you might get pregnant. There's a lot of benefits to getting a yoni steam.
Anytime somebody can boost my libido a little bit, I'm for it. And she says these herbs are going to kind of kick me into gear. So I think it should be interesting.
this is nice, though.
This would have been cool for all the girls, actually. Because it's a nice little calm atmosphere.
I don't know about it.
Why you say that?
Because I'm tired of having conversations about Kiki.
I bet.
I was so tired of having conversations. Like, that's why, like, with you and Mel, I was like, I thought this was going to be, like, a fun thing. I don't want to talk about her.
But you gotta know we gonna ask about Kiki after we had a whole drink in the face at the barbecue.
But it's like digging for more detail. Give me more. Like, Mel was like, well, you guys had a conversation. Well, that's how you had a conversation. Well, do you think the conversation, like, you saw what happened at the barbecue with your own two eyes. So you're trying to say that I caused that? Me ignoring her made her do. I'm like, oh, so it's my fault now. So at that point, I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and defend myself.
I know after you left, she was asking if you might have had an issue with her. She was saying that ever since the meeting that we had after the Black Expo, she felt like your energy was different.
After the town hall meeting, I felt like a lot of people were giving a lot of opinions. And it seemed like when I said something, well, we're not here to talk about that. And I was feeling like, well, what are we here to talk about? It is what we're here to talk about, right?
When you wanted to leave and not talk about it, I think she took that personal.
That's my thing. It wasn't about her. At the barbecue, I was laughing, joking, and cutting up with her. Like, we had a good time at the cookout. It's not about her at all. I'm dealing with so much right now.
The meeting or just life in general?
It's just been a lot right now. And I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. And I'm actually just thinking about, I was going to talk to Mara, so I'm like, I wonder if I should just go back to being a stay-at-home mom. Because it's just so much stuff. And I feel like when stuff don't work out, it's a reason for that. Maybe it's something that I'm not supposed to be doing right now. I want to get emotional. I don't know, Kimmy. I honestly don't know.
I think for everything, there's a season.
Yeah.
And when you have multiples that are young, it's hard to do lots of irons in the fire at one time.
I thought that once Mila got in school, me getting back involved in business would free it up. But it's like, no, there's other things now. We're building our house. We're renovating the other house. We're in the apartment. So nothing is like organized in my life right now.
Oh, I get
that. My mind is like everywhere. And then on top of that, the casino night at Black, people sending stuff to the city. Like, so now you're interfering with our business. And then we're doing the expo, and it was for a great cause, but then I'm getting all this, heat from it. What if you think you're pregnant? Can you still do?
All right, guys. So you heard that. And she's basically, going all over the place. They're going in for a uni steam. She took a pregnancy test while she was there. More likely than not, she knew she wasn't pregnant. I honestly feel like that was just for the optics and maybe an excuse to get into the conversation of her thinking about going back to being a stay-at-home mom. Because one, we know that, what season was it? Was it the first season that Marceau and Maurice got vasectomies without even saying anything prior to doing that? Like, what kind? First of all, what man do you know actually really wants to get a vasectomy? So that alone just kind of speaks volumes to me, to actually do it and then not even say anything or have a discussion prior to doing that. I mean, seriously, that's just very, very weird. But to, getting into the emotions of how she feels with all the stuff that's going on with business, that's just business. I mean, being a business owner, especially when you have multiple businesses, it can be very stressful, very hectic. I know for a fact, but it's hard for me, again, like I said, to have sympathy for her and feel sorry for her, because one, I don't even really feel like she was really that much involved in the business. I feel like this was just something that they were really playing up more so for the sake of being on the show, but also because she is named as 85% in terms of the business ownership. Who has the higher percentage out of her and her husband? She does, and it's definitely for bidding on those contracts and hopeful of getting granted those contracts, because they are supposedly a double minority owned construction business, period. So her thinking about going back to being a stay-at-home mom and having a discussion with Marceau to see what he feels about it, she's pretty much always been that. That's why he's never respected her in his business. That's why it was nothing for him to give up her quote office to someone else that they hired, have her working out of a coffee shop or at the dining room table at the house. It's just like, no, you never really were involved in this. He's like, sign these papers. If I need you to sign anything, then you do that. But other than that, you continue being the stay-at-home mom that we agreed that you were going to be when I told you what it was going to be. That's what it gives me. So I just feel that this is just a storyline. Definitely taking the pregnancy test and her talking about maybe going back to being a stay-at-home mom, whatever. It's just overwhelming. People calling the city and reporting us when we were going to have the Bet on Black event, whatever that was going to be. It was just like, this is just nothing but for the show. It's excuses and it's for the show. And then when I heard her say that she went to Vegas with her homegirls, he doesn't even strike me as the type that wants her to go out of town alone. That alone strikes me as well as shocking. But either way, somebody said in a comment on social media, and I mean, I laughed at it, but somebody said, so far, every Leticia on these reality shows might have education, but have some slowness in them. Bell Collective, Married to Medicine, and Love and Marriage Huntsville, cry face emoji. And I was like, oh my God. I don't have an issue with Sweet Tea, they call her, Leticia on Married to Medicine. We're still getting to know her. And Bell Collective, Leticia, she can be a trip sometimes. I mean, sometimes it's like, okay, what do you really do? You're a mentor for what? But anyway, I get it. So it just made me laugh. I just thought I would share that with you guys. But anyway, let me know your thoughts. Let me know how you feel about her so-called stepping back from the duties of being a business owner to just going back to being a stay-at-home mom, which is what she's best at, I guess. And allowing Gumby to take control like he always has been doing when it comes to the business. And that explains why they have so many lawsuits against them. But anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.